Hello nobody, welcome to Bubblegum and Vomit. We are here to talk about many different things.
You sound resentful.
We have plans.
So many plans.
I'm so wet right now.
Please don't.
They went to a water park.
No, we didn't.
Water? What?
We went to Six Flags, and then it rained. That's not a water park. That's Six Flags.
That's a
wet.
park with water, I'll tell you.
That's just Six Flags wet.
So do we want to talk about our line buddies?
No, you mentioned it, so now we have to. I didn't really want to because it was hell.
Exactly.
Before they do that, it's the second episode, and I'm Nils.
And, yeah, he is.
Oh, we're gonna do the only one of us introduces ourselves thing again. Okay.
I'm Jalen.
I guess I'm Taylor.
He supposes. He's not really sure, but you know.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Some people would say I'm someone else.
Some people would say you're
Damn it, I was trying to...
I'll bleep it out, don't worry.
Oh, yes. Some people would say you're It's like, what did they... Shit monkey?
Now you have to bleep that out.
Would that be shit E? It would. Just like, we can't let them hear monkey!
No, they can't let them hear monk.
Those fucking monks. So, our line buddies, we were in line for... What's the name of it? Pandemonium. Yeah. We were in line for Pandemonium.
Is it a Chinese-themed roller coaster?
No.
It's a fuck you themed roller coaster.
It's,
One goes sideways, sideways is great. One go backwards, backwards is great.
It's basically a roller coaster, except the car just spins whenever it wants. Yeah. So, were you laughing at us or your phone?
The car.
Ah, yes.
Spinning.
Guess I'm bitches on your day.
But yeah, that's on a point. We were in line for it, and in front of us were three, people. There was...
They looked about to be 12, probably.
Like middle school or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Disclaimer. Not racist. This is for identification purposes only.
Hold on, we need to talk louder.
Taylor needs to talk louder.
Everyone. Jesus Christ.
Alright.
Let me...
Disclaimer. Not racist. Identification purposes only. There was a black girl,
Her
white...
Her lips were huge.
No, her lips was huge. That's correct. It's a legitimate dialect.
Anyway, there was a black girl, a white girl, and a white...
Kid. Boy.
I
Child.
was gonna say guy, but he was too young for that. Anyway.
He's too young to be male.
And behind us was, just a family of 4 with a small child.
They were all black.
Yeah, but that's on point. Anyway. Cause you're not gonna... Anyway. There was a small child, a teenager, and then the 2, what I assume were the parents.
Probably not, because they were black.
Kidnappers. Now that sounds racist.
Thanks,
I thought of that before he said they were black. Well, he already said they were black, but before that instance of it.
Anyway.
So you were racist in your own head before being racist to the internet. Good job.
Anyway. So the people in front of us just kept talking about just
stupid things.
Just really stupid things.
First of all, the white girl was, addicted to sex. She viewed everything sexually. She was bisexual.
Oh yeah, they were talking about their sexual preferences, and black girl was like, I like guys, and the white girl was like, I like girls too, and then the little kid behind us, that was, part of the family, he just, ooh, she gay! We were just like, what?
And they would say stupid things like...
Oh, fun fact. Lesbian in German, not a word in the noun sense. It's an adjective, and it's lesbisch. Lesbisch.
Germans.
I've always thought that, you know how it's inappropriate to say, oh, he's a gay? How gay is appropriate as an adjective, but not a noun. I always feel like lesbian is more appropriate as a noun than an adjective. Like, oh, she's lesbian. It just seems less right than, oh, she's a lesbian. Or maybe it's the other way around. What do you think?
I think that it's a noun.
I think it's irrelevant, and I will say whatever I damn well please.
Well, so do you think it's an adjective too?
I don't
think
it sounds
good as an adjective.
Yeah, I don't like.
So yeah,
like adjectives have a certain sound to them, and I don't think
so
lesbian has that sound.
So you're with my first thing, where it's the opposite of gay, where it sounds good as a noun but not as an adjective.
Well, less offensive and more. It doesn't sound like an adjective.
Okay.
I don't care.
Would Lesbanese be better?
It sounds like a country, or
Lebanese.
I guess the nationality of that country.
Yes.
Lebanon.
Keanu Reeves.
No, it wouldn't be Lebanon. It would be Lesbanon.
We know the origin of the word, right? We do?
Of what? Lesbian?
Yes.
I don't.
It's from the Isle of Lesbos, where the women practice homosexual sex.
They did each other?
Yes.
Why didn't you just say that?
Because that's what
they call sodomy because Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, it was a codifier, so I had to say that's what they did. I couldn't say they were lesbian because they were lesbian.
No, you said the people on the island of Lesbos were women who did each other.
Yes.
Hence the word lesbian.
Yes. It's the origin.
Anyway, so the people in front of us, they just kept talking about things, and they kept complaining about, like, their family and stuff,
I love my grandma. My grandma's really annoying. She's my shopping buddy, but I hate her.
Yeah, but their complaints were, like, they were complaining about the most, just...
Piddling.
They were, I don't remember what piddling means.
I never do homework until the last minute. I hate homework.
No,
I don't even pay attention in class. I just talk and guess.
They were,
I hate science.
Yeah, this is all from the black girl. I'm not saying that black people can't learn, just that this particular one was retarded. No offense to retarded people.
Oh, I have an argument.
Total offense to
I have an
retarded
argument
people.
to talk about the word retarded.
Oh, fun. Anyway, the girl, she kept complaining, she kept complaining about...
It involves a Jewish person.
The girl kept complaining about her, like, parents, or her mom, or family and stuff. But it was always some like, my mom pissed me off the other day.
She made me do work.
Yeah, it was just stupid things.
For stupid people.
Like, someone in her family would do something reasonable and she would complain about it. But I don't even know what she was talking about at this point, but they were talking about, like, the cops or something. And, basically all we heard was, in the police be like, hey, 911. And that's all we heard.
The police be like, hey, 911. What does that mean? The police are calling the emergency
I don't know, maybe she was talking about the person who answers the phone, but that's not a police officer.
The police be like, hey, 911.
Yeah, but that's not a police officer, that's, the 911 operator. But
I can make strange noises with my chair as well. No, I can't. I'm sitting on a futon.
What are you doing?
Anyway, but yeah, the people in front of us just made us want to, support, like, eugenics and stuff.
More than usual.
More than
we usually support eugenics.
It's like, man, I just want to go out and euthanize some babies.
No, more like a test to determine if you can have children. But,
I know, but
I think we should just kill all of the unintelligent people.
I think we should stop this before the NSA kills us.
Let's kill all of the unintelligent people.
Oh, don't worry, they're working on it. Eugenics, not killing us.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, we're apparently like Fidel Castro, where we just accidentally thwart all of our, all of the assassination attempts.
So yeah, Six Flags was alright.
Yeah.
It rained.
Mm-hmm.
All over me.
We went... just all over my face. Just, oh! Anyway, but,
Did you run through it or walk?
Walk.
Good. Because if you run, it hits the front of you more, and you get wetter.
Unless you're a car, in which case when you go faster, you get hit less on the inside.
Unless
On the
it's
inside.
going diagonally, in which case, screw you. It'll just hit you anyway.
That's when you run in the opposite direction. But I was wearing my fake leather jacket, so it wasn't absorbent anyway.
Fake leather.
Well, it's not real leather. I mean, you
Leather?
can, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so we went on that, like, really, really tall swings. I used to know the exact measurements, but now I don't. And it was awful. It was really windy. So, like, when we were on one side of the tower that was holding us up, it would be really windy, and on the other side it wouldn't. Because of the fact that we were swinging. Like, we would be swinging the same way as the wind.
For those of
So
you...
we would swing into the wind.
This is the rotating swings ride, right?
Yes.
It's the Texas Sky Screamer, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah. But we would swing into the wind, and then that would turn us a bit. And then we would go into the part without wind, and well, you know what happens when you twist something? It spins the other way.
Like whenever you're twisting on a swing set.
Yeah. It was that. But we would twist, and our momentum would carry us, and we would twist a little bit in the other direction. And it would hit the wind, and it would push us harder, and we would twist more in the other direction. And then we would hit the part... The wind was ridiculous. And then we would hit the part without wind. And we would twist faster in the other direction. And then we would hit the wind again. And just kept doing that until we were like going backwards facing away from this tower. And it was just...
I just had the idea. Someone's probably done it, but I've never had the idea to try pumping my legs on a swing ride and seeing what happens.
I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
We do not endorse, condone, or consider...
Pumping our legs on a swing ride.
All in all, a really fun day. Let's see, anything else noteworthy happened while we were at Six Flags?
We were on the Sonic whatever.
Sonic? Whatever?
The green roller coaster.
The Shockwave?
The Shockwave. And Taylor blocked out, and then I slapped him in the face 80 trillion times.
I didn't... Okay, the way you say that... Okay, it has 2 loops in a row, and around the second loop, my vision blacked out.
You blacked out.
If I had...
The loops made you black out.
If I had blacked
you blacked
out...
out on the loops.
If I had blacked out, that's called
You could
going
not be an
unconscious.
Astronaut. You could not be an astronaut.
I hate space. I mean, I love space, but I hate space. I will never go into space.
The G-forces rendered you literally blind.
Yeah. Anyway. And then him hitting me is because he's fucking retarded.
I kept my hands up on the entire ride, so it would hit a turn and I would fling into him, sending my elbow into his face.
Yeah. Was that the one where I just jammed my elbow into your side?
No.
No, that was the Runaway Mine train, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the one where I was already in pain because the lap bar forcibly squeezed down on my legs and just, like, crushed them, and I was like, this hurts so bad. And then the whole ride was and, like, slamming us back and forth and, like, sliding the bar across my legs.
It was funny because I had been on that ride before, and I knew exactly what was going to happen.
You were in pain, too. Shut up.
I was, but I knew it would happen.
I knew it was going to hurt, you masochist.
So, there are many ways to go. Now,
how about that retarded thing you mentioned?
Yes, I was about to do that. One interjection. When the Hard Rock Park still existed, it is now the Freestyle Music Park. But when the Hard Rock Park existed, my dad rode the Led Zeppelin roller coaster, which is probably now the Heavy Blimp roller coaster. The Heavy Metal Blimp. But anyway, he rode it, and I didn't ride it because I don't like roller coasters. And
Why do none of our friends like roller coasters?
Because Kylan can't handle anything, Kyle's boring, and Nils has irrational fears, and...
I don't have irrational fears, I don't like the sensation.
Irrational sensation.
It's a rational sensation. Everyone feels it. Some people like it, I don't.
You Onto your retarded argument.
Anyway, he said his head was hitting the backrest all the time. And that's the one where it has a loop that halfway through goes to another loop, and it's just like... just like the most G-forces you can experience on a roller coaster. And
the noises really describe what you were just saying.
I'm sure they do.
The
Anyway.
ride.
So yes, this retarded argument. So, I was at school and I was talking to this guy. He's Jewish, to just connect with what Jalen said, like, oh, Jewish people, and I was like, he is. So,
Wait, when did Jalen talk about Jewish?
He said he had an
Earlier.
argument about retarded people, and I was like, I have an argument about Jews.
he mentioned...
Was that during the podcast?
Yes. He mentioned retarded. And I was like, or no, we were talking about Project Unify, which at my school is a group to
That
stop...
sounds ominous.
Yes, a group to stop using the R word. But he called... Yes. He called it Project Unity, which I was like, uh-oh, you don't want to go to Project Unity. That's the one where they tell you to use the R word. And so he's just like, welcome, you're all retarded. But, so he was like, well, it's a legitimate medical term. And I'm like, yeah, maybe in 1800s era France, where it was. And so he's like, but...
Technically, it still is, though.
Yeah,
I know.
retardation.
I know, but
Mental
he's
and
like,
physical.
but it describes the thing! And I'm like, do you want to know the appropriate thing? Because I have this running thing where he's like, oh, what do you call a hermaphrodite person? And I'm like, oh, I'll tell you what it actually is. And like, so...
I call it a hermaphroditic person.
No, you don't.
A hermaphrodite is a hermaphrodite. That's why they're called
A
hermaphrodites.
hermaphrodite describes a species.
Yes, but he's not...
What do you call a hermaphrodite?
I'll tell you later.
He's not saying what is the proper scientific
Yes,
term
okay.
for a
Okay, yes.
quote-unquote hermaphrodite. He's saying, what do you call hermaphrodite? You call it a hermaphrodite. Hence why you just said hermaphrodite.
What do you call
Okay.
a dog? A dog?
No, canine companion.
So, he asked, well, what's the appropriate term? And I told him it was diverse abilitied. That's the completely PC term is diverse abilitied.
That's retarded.
That is literally retarded.
And he was like, well, but...
There's having an IQ of like 40, and then there's having autism. Autism is having a diverse range of abilities that differ from normal people, and then retardation is just going...
So, he's like... I'm like, because diverse ability implies that you may not be good at some things, but you're good at others, just because something's wrong in your brain in one way. And he's like, well, but that doesn't take into account things like Down syndrome, where your abilities are just generally lowered. And I'm like, someone with Down syndrome could be better at math than you. And he's like, no, they couldn't. And I'm just like,
Never!
But, I mean, diverse...
I'm just like, having an extra chromosome does not automatically
Wait.
make you not understand the quadratic formula.
Wait. Diverse ability implies that, hey, I'm good at a lot of things. It doesn't say, hey, my normal skills are generally lowered, but I could be better at a particular thing than you. That's called probability.
Retardation is basically whenever your IQ is below a certain threshold. You are classified as mentally retarded.
Yes.
That's
So why
what it
would you
means.
call it diverse ability?
I don't know.
But it also applies to physical disabilities, which the correct term is diverse abilities.
That's
Because-
stupid!
Retardation
Well, it's
literally
just a
has to
different-
do with your IQ.
No, we're beyond that. I'm just saying, it's diverse doesn't mean that it's good. You can have a diverse array of poisons. You can have,
Yes, it's-
this poison is more potent. And then, like, this
No.
person cannot use their legs. They're diverse ability.
No, but diverse means a wide number of very different things. If
Yes.
you are diverse ability, that means you have a wide array of very
No,
different
it's that
abilities.
in the scope of everyone, you are diverse from other people.
Everyone is diverse, from
Diverse.
everyone. Everyone is diverse.
I know,
from
that's
everyone.
why, well, no, because...
No, but
Everyone has a
No,
diverse
you'd be
range of
stand-
abilities.
No, but
You would
diverse
be like
isn't-
people.
standard ability. Diverse ability means that you diverge from it.
No, but you don't use it in that way. You don't say, like,
But other people aren't a standard.
if you have a lineup
like other
of
people
blue,
can be good at math.
of, like, blue blocks,
Yeah.
and then a red one, you don't say, hey, that red one is diverse from the others. That's not how you use that in regular conversation. If you have, like, a pile of blocks and there's like red ones, blue ones, yellow ones, green ones, purple
Diverse
ones.
array
You say
of blocks.
you use it to describe a group.
I'm confused. Put it this way. You, Nils, are probably better at math than me. You have a diverse array of ability, or diverse range of abilities than me.
Yes.
So there's not really a standard, so saying
Well, I
someone's
also
mentally
have
retarded...
I also have ADD, so
And I have
Yeah, but-
Asperger's.
yes, I have Asperger's too.
Taylor has nothing. Taylor has facial hair.
I have an intense hatred for 90% of humans.
I've got big balls. She's got okay.
What?
I've got the biggest balls of them all.
I don't understand what just happened, folks.
It's AC/DC.
Okay.
Their song
We use
called Big Balls.
we use AC/DC because it's heavy metal
No, it isn't.
What?
from a show.
I'm sure it is. So...
So anyway, back to this argument. Anyway, the term for a person who biologically, physically, I'm talking now. We're switching gears. Biologically, physically has aspects of both sexes, or like aspects of some, but aspects of the which is the same thing. The term is divergence of sexual development. Can we agree that that's an appropriate term?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we can.
because it's exactly what it means. And it means exactly what it says, and it says exactly what it means. It's better than intersex because you're not necessarily between the sexes. Like, somewhere between them, you could... Because being male...
Technically, you are somewhere between.
Being male and female is so complicated. It's not just, oh, you have balls or something. It's like, you have to have the right hormones, you have to have the right gonads, you have to have the right other organs like breasts. You have to have...
right gonads. Having gonads isn't enough.
No.
They have to be correct.
No, I mean, you have to have the male ones for to be male. And they're like...
As opposed to the female gonads,
There is
the female balls.
There is a Venn diagram of all the ways wherein, like, it's male and then female, but then it's all the ways that you have to be male and female, and it's so complex it makes no sense. Like, that's how complex it is.
Then what's the point?
Of being a sex.
Yes.
For
What's the point of having a classification if it's just going to be impossible
Because-
to classify yourself?
Well, it's a
anyway?
classification because it simplifies it. It says, oh, you have most of those, you're male.
So you don't have to have absolutely all of them, you just have to have most of them.
Okay, here it is. Oh, no, wait. This is... What? Oh, this is just, like... Okay, I found one that, like, is about your sexual preference. That's weird.
I like boobs and vagina.
That is weird.
I like big butts, cannot lie.
This one is about... Yes. Yeah, people say it's a gender binary, whereas really it's people who are
A gender hexadecimal.
people who are reproductively viable have their own circle. Then ones with female gonadal tissue have their own circle. Then ones with male, and then people have ambiguous genitalia, and then classified female or male at birth, and then
How about this?
Words?
If you carry the child and then give birth to it, you are the female. If you
yes, but what if you can't
implant the child,
Yes, but what if you're
Listen, I am not done.
No, what if you're infertile?
Then you don't matter from an evolutionary standpoint.
That's not to say classification doesn't matter.
If you carry the child when you give birth, you are a woman.
You're a female.
Woman.
Literally
You are
all
female.
of this, none of this matters
If
to
you
me.
are a guy, or if you put the half of whatever that needs to be there into the person that carries the child and gives birth, you are a man.
You're a male.
You are a man.
Because man and woman are...
If you cannot have a child,
Man and woman are
You're
male.
a being!
then evolutionarily, and you technically, you do not matter from an evolutionary standpoint.
No, what I'm saying is that man and woman are mental distinctions. Male and female are physical distinctions.
And guess what? Evolution doesn't give two shits.
I'm saying, no, they're often the same, but they're not always the same.
You know how I feel about this conversation?
The same way evolution feels about the distinction between man and woman?
No. I feel like there's male. They have dicks and balls. They shoot the sperm from the dick. And then there's females that have the boobs and vagina, and they can give birth sometimes, maybe, perhaps.
Is this going to be like a running theme throughout our episodes? We just argue about the difference between...
And then there's the other things in between that if I knew any, I would care more about, but I don't, so I don't.
But anyway, I was getting into trans issues, which I don't know if we even should get into, because that's just a whole nother bag of worms. Can of worms, whatever.
I don't think I would care even if I did have friends that
the-
had problems identifying their sexuality.
Not
Hey, it's
sexuality,
like-
I don't
not
know,
sexuality,
it's just
gender identity.
It's just...
Anyway, the container
No,
of
but
worms...
no, hang on. It's just like, hey, you're very androgynous. Are you a guy or a girl? Well, that's very complicated. It's like, okay, I'm leaving now.
I'm just saying...
You have fun trying to figure out what the hell you are.
I'm just saying the container of worms, like, what they're contained in doesn't matter. We just know there is a quantum of worms. we can agree on that.
A quantum
A quantum.
of worms.
All that means is a specified amount.
No,
That's when people are like, oh, it uses quantum energy!
no, you
that
can't
means
have you can't have a quantum of worms. Quantum is an adjective. You can have a quantity.
Quanta and quantum are nouns. Because quanta means more than one quantum.
Quantum is an adjective describing
It's an
something.
adjective and a noun. Because
I've literally never heard it used as a noun.
because there is a plural of it. There can't be a plural of an adjective unless you're in Spanish.
Maybe we are.
Ole.
Porque
Muy caliente.
I've also never heard quanta.
that means very sexually attractive. You realize that?
Wait, what did you say?
Muy caliente. It doesn't mean like hot in temperature. That would be muy calor. Like calorie. Yeah.
Feel us.
Uno más cervezas, por
Wouldn't that be
favor.
Heis? Not Haas? Oh, it's Haas for attractive?
No, I just made up a word.
Uno más cervezas, por favor.
Más cervezas till the rooster crows. Vatos de gallos. Okay.
Nils takes Spanish, but he's really in love with German. It's like a love story that can never be.
German's a great language.
It is. Oh yeah, that was when
So why aren't you taking German?
We were at a school for DI, and
This school doesn't have German.
Kylan and I were walking out, and Kylan asked me as we passed a family of Hispanic people, and it matters for this story, do you like German or Spanish better? And I go, oh, German's way better! And I'm just like, all eyes are on me.
Because clearly, because they're of Hispanic origin, they're fluent in Spanish, and therefore care. Is that what you're saying? Are you trying
No.
to group them in like that?
I think they were speaking Spanish at the time,
And you would know that why?
because I heard them
Because-
with my ears.
Yes, because Spanish...
Because you take Spanish.
You
Because
can tell
you
the
secretly-
difference.
because
you
you
can tell the
secretly-
difference between Jungho Tantum Popo and Kajimutatabido Jojojo. Those are different languages.
What? Those
What
were different
you-
languages?
No, those were gibberish gooble flap.
Yes, but they were based on two actual languages.
But they sounded the same.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they
One
did.
was flowy and the other was abrupt.
They were both abrupt.
Well,
And
that's
flowy.
because I'm not good at improvising gibberish. That's flowy.
Well, don't try and use it as an example. Then.
Alright.
Mushi no takati washida. There, that was flowy.
What?
It was better.
It sounded like you didn't know what you were saying.
I didn't.
Alright, guys.
Let's talk about undetermined noises. In French, people go, when they don't know what they're saying, they say, yeah. What do they say in German, Taylor? Do you know? I know.
Yes.
I am angered by my inability to describe my thinking.
Yes, they just grunt.
I know they say also, just all the time.
They usually just make...
Zoot et zoot.
Well, I mean, whenever I was actually in German, like 90% of the time, it was just English being spoken.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know German at the time. So they just used, the little English bullshit where it's like,
Yes.
like, or as.
Yeah.
Or, It was
Well,
more, than the rest.
Yeah, there are words, but I'm thinking more sound. The sound is
Well,
interesting.
is technically a sound.
Yeah, but it can be spelled. People
Well,
don't really...
so
Yeah.
can flort.
But people... but that...
Germans floor when they
Yes,
don't
but
know what they're saying.
that is inherently using letters. Yeah, doesn't really use letters.
EUGH, and then just, extend whatever letter you want.
That would be yig. Or ig.
No, the G is silent. Like, though.
In French, every letter is silent.
All of them, all the time.
Like
They
whisperish.
that's why they don't talk.
France never uses the letter K unless it's a different origin word.
Hey,
this language is half silent.
In German, W makes the V sound, V makes the F sound, and F also makes the F sound.
Yes.
What makes the W sound?
Either nothing or I don't know.
UA.
UA?
Ua. It essentially
What?
makes...
What?
What?
What? What?
What?
What?
What?
What word is
what?
that used in?
Probably
What?
none.
What?
But it would
What?
if it
What?
existed.
I know that AU
What?
is
What?
ow, as
Yeah.
in,
What? What?
baum.
Yeah.
What?
Did you
What?
know
What?
in
What?
Spanish there is like
What?
5 words that have an umlaut U? There's like...
Hello, and welcome to the bilingual hour.
Yes, like...
Trilingual hour.
In Spanish, I was about to say, the word bilingual...
Quadlingual hour?
The
Are we
word-
going to start talking about French, too?
The word bilingual
Let's talk
is...
about Japanese too.
The word bilingual is bilingue with a umlaut U. It's weird.
In
Spanish.
Spanish.
It's so
Wait,
crazy.
Spanish has umlaut?
Only umlaut U and only in a few words.
Huh.
I think France has umlaut too. I'm not sure.
Now, is
France has like 6. It doesn't matter.
There's an accent grave and there's accent aigu or aigu,
I know there's a house.
and then there's
in German they have...
Circumflex.
and then there's an umlaut, I think. And then there's the thing where they just mix the E into the O.
Oh, like feces?
I'm not even going to go
The
there.
correct British way to spell feces is Foeces.
No, like it's EO, like the E just like,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
it's its own sound.
Right.
Yeah.
German has A umlaut, U umlaut, O umlaut,
And never E umlaut, ever.
Yeah, no, they don't have E umlaut. I almost said E
Take
umlaut.
that, the Bronte
Oh,
family.
and there's also like the 5 under the C.
Oh, God.
Oh, that thing. And then and the German has, the S set,
Yes.
which may or may not be able to be replaced by 2 S's.
Well,
In fact, my German teacher...
It's a square rectangle rule. If it has 2
What?
S's, no, it's a square rectangle rule.
Oh, right, 2 S's can't always be replaced by an S set, but an S set can always be replaced by 2 S's.
Yes.
My
S-
German teacher
S set-
actually said on the AP, on the tests, if you never write an essay and then at the bottom just put Swiss orthography, they will laugh and then give you credit. Because the Swiss apparently don't use S-sets.
S-set, if you don't know, is that swirly B in German.
Oh yeah, it's like a B with an extended...
It's basically the beta symbol. Capital beta?
I don't actually
Or
know what that looks
lowercase
like.
beta.
I don't actually know what that looks like.
I only know what omega looks like. And delta.
Yes. Because math and science.
Because chemistry. I know what delta is from chemistry.
This is... Beta is literally an S-set.
Oh, wow. Of course, are we really expecting them not to know what an S-set looks like, but to happen to know what the beta symbol looks like?
It's a B with a tail.
Actually, well, the beta would be easier to look up. It's like, how do I spell S-set? I don't even know. I take German. I don't even know.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
Turning up the game. Turning up the game.
What?
Turning up the game.
What are we talking? What are you turning up?
The game.
I didn't turn up anything. Just what are we talking about?
You turned up the
talking
game.
about bilingual stuff.
He turned up the game.
Anyway,
He turned up his game!
No.
So, is there anything else we want to talk about besides languages? I mean, we could make that our theme for the episode.
Oh,
That actually is boring as fuck.
I don't have anything to talk about languages because I quit French because it was terrible.
You know what's interesting? Babies after hearing their mother tongue, even in the womb they hear it after 4 months, so not to get into an abortion argument.
I kill babies whenever I want.
Anyway, after hearing it in the womb and in life, they cry in the accent of their native tongue. So
French babies just go.
French babies.
And then anytime another baby comes in, they just glare at it.
French babies, when they cry, the last syllable goes up in pitch. German babies, when they cry, the last syllable goes down in pitch. I don't know what the rule for English is. It's probably down in pitch.
It's probably
English
just
is
scream as loud as you can, because that's what we do.
If the end of your word goes up in pitch, it's probably a question.
Unless you're just like, really, really stupid. And then it's literally, like, every end of your sentences. And then, like,
Even the words in between?
Yeah.
In French.
Yeah, I mean.
In French, you
I
can make
screwed it up.
anything a question that is a statement if you just make it sound like a question. Like
Fuck cheese holes?
Yeah. You can do that. Like, you can be like, I have an apple? But in French, so it's like, I have an apple?
But
in French?
We just did that in English and it worked fine.
Yeah. So basically, French can do the same thing as English. I don't know how German works with questions.
You flip the subject and the verb, right?
Yeah. So it
We
wouldn't
have to do
be
that stuff, or we can just make it sound like a question.
It wouldn't be I have an apple. It would be have I an apple?
You can do that in French.
If you literally translated
You
it.
can't do it you can't do it ever. You can't do it in
Jew,
Spanish.
now a verb.
You can't do it in Spanish. You have to swip the subject and the verb, or you can do you are from America, right? Which you can do in English, of course. And
Of course.
well, it's really you're from America. True.
You're very true, Mills.
Yes.
Or false.
Oh, God.
You're from America. False.
That would be a really good way to, like, just completely confuse people. It's like, you're from America. False? Yes. No? Wait.
Yes. No. Then where are you from? Where's the sugar?
So, starting our Halloween countdown. No, we're not doing that.
No, we're not.
Because I looked at the calendar and there are literally...
What are you guys going for Halloween?
There are literally 4 episodes till Halloween, so we don't have to do that theme yet.
So what are we going as for Halloween?
I don't know.
Do we go?
I'm going, hopefully, if I'm not in South Carolina.
Don't worry, you just dress normally and people will just stare at you. Not because you're mixed race, just because it's South Carolina.
I'm mixed race.
No, just because it's South Carolina, they're just insane. Well, more northern Georgia is insane. I haven't told this story on the show. I went there with my dad.
Wait. What rating is this story? I'm just curious.
On a star scale or on a movie scale?
Movie.
G.
Okay.
Why?
I was just curious.
Are you sure it's G, or are you sure it's not like PG?
Is mental...
Are you sure it's not rated like XXX?
Is mental insanity a PG theme?
Yes.
Okay, then it's probably PG. But we went to northern Georgia on our way to...
I don't know, we should start them young.
North Carolina, and we stopped at a gas station, and my dad was like, don't drink from the water fountain. And I was just like, why? And he's like, the people here aren't normal. And so we walk in.
There's something in the water.
And as we walk into this door, someone just kind of stumbles out of the automatic door and just looks at us and goes, and then runs away. As we enter the store...
What? He just went, and stumbled through the door and went, and just walked off?
Yes.
Thank you for repeating the story, Jalen.
I was asking if that is what really happened.
As we walk in the storekeeper looks at us and just keeps looking at us and doesn't stop. Someone stands near the bathroom and walks out, and he was the only one who had an excuse because he seemed sort of autistic. Like, everyone else seemed normal, but not normal. He seemed to have a legitimate deficiency. He seemed to be like, oh, what's going on? No, like, that sort of aura you get. But everyone else was just scary.
Are you saying that, like, autistic Down syndrome people can't be scary?
No, they have the full capacity to do so.
That's right, they do.
I feel like
Like the kid at school just went, Mom!
I feel like we're arguing for the wrong side of, like, mentally challenged rights.
We want to be scary!
We don't want to admit, we want the right to make people uncomfortable!
Just like, oh, I understand. I'm not going to be uncomfortable when you stare at me and breathe heavily, so,
Damn it!
I want to be treated just like anyone else. So when I...
That was your soul being released
And now
from your
we're
body.
just getting into the range of insulting.
Oh, so I had a massive argument.
Go on.
He was choking on a Werther's original. So,
We don't endorse, condone, or consider choking?
we do endorse, condone, and consider Werther's original the best!
Don't buy them.
That's their slogan.
The best.
Yes, editing these one episodes, I have learned acutely what and look like on a sound graph. That was too quiet. That was even quieter. You dipstick.
Anyway, what were you talking about? Something
So
about an
I
argument?
had a massive argument with my Jewish friend at school about circumcision.
Does he have a giant nose and wear one of those tiny caps?
He has a large nose, yes.
Well, you know what
He
they
doesn't
say
wear-
about people with large
He
noses.
doesn't wear a yarmulke.
Hey, you-
Yarmulke. Whatever. Yarmulke.
Barnacle.
Yarmulke?
No, yarmulke.
Binoculars.
A yarmulke is a bush.
Bionicle.
Right.
Yarmulke is a hat.
Oracle.
They might both be bushes, but one of them is a hat.
Or.
I will take this bush and wear it as a hat, and that's not a Jewish,
That's a Middle Eastern accent.
Well, you know where the Jews came from.
Yes! The Middle East.
So technically I was correct.
At least.
So we had this argument about, what am I even looking at?
Your phone.
Wait, Bill and Jalen? What?
No. Focus.
Look at this!
No. Focus.
Okay, so we had a massive argument about circumcision. Anyway, he said, I forget how it
People who
started.
are circumcised are aliens.
It basically was like, so 56% of the population of the world is circumcised. 30% of those people are Muslim. And in America, 20 to 80% are circumcised. The number hovers around, pretty high. More than half. And so, it's hard to determine, obviously, because you ask men, you try to determine the average penis length, it'll always be bigger than it is. I don't know about circumcision, what kind of shame there is to be had about it, but unless you believe you lose an inch when you get circumcised. Yes, because the foreskin hardens and becomes a tube with which is used to penetrate. No, it doesn't. People. Ladies. Countrymen.
All 12 ladies.
12.
Less than 12.
You're exaggerating
12.
massively.
What?
So, he's assuming we have an audience.
Oh, okay.
So, I was like, I don't know. I just don't think cutting off pieces of your body is alright. And he's like,
Technically,
How else
You're not.
How else are women gonna get makeup?
what?
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 Don't you know that makeup comes from foreskin?
It comes from back guano.
Yeah, and it also has foreskin in it.
Well,
They use foreskin in makeup.
Anyway,
foreskin.
eventually,
skin.
I
But it's
revised.
penis skin.
I revised my argument to non-consensual, non-medically necessary mutilation of the body ought not be practiced. Which he responded to with, but it's a religious ritual. We'll get to that. It's a religious ritual, which I said, yes. Anyone cannot eat shrimp if they choose to and want to because of their religion. What they can't do is slice up babies.
So what you're saying is abortion is bad
Why?
because it's non-consensual
They're not people.
and not medically necessary.
They're not.
In all cases. Wait, no, that came out wrong. It's not always medically necessary. Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it really is.
Not to endorse, condone, or consider anything, but I don't think that up to a certain point, it's a person. So
What language do babies think?
So wait, if it's not a
They don't
person,
think.
then it's a part of
well,
your...
when they're a baby, yes, but fetuses don't
Wait,
think.
no. But if it isn't a person and doesn't think, then technically it's a part of your body, and then abortion would be mutilation of that part of your body.
Yes, but it's consensual because you chose to do it.
Damn it.
So
No, I'm just gonna go up to a pregnant lady and be like, "You're having an abortion now."
Some people do that.
Just in the middle of the street.
No, not... It,
Look.
well, at least I assume some people do that.
it's called a
It
gut
seems
punch.
It seems like something that, like, serial killers would do.
It's called a gut punch.
I don't... Can you abort a fetus just by punching it hard enough?
Well, if you punch it with a car...
You can't punch with a vehicle.
What if you tie someone to the front in a fist?
Exactly.
Punch with the force of a car. So, he argued that since it's a religious ritual, it's valid. And I said, well, it shouldn't be practiced on babies unwillingly.
You know,
And-
invading Middle Eastern countries was for a long time a religious ritual.
You know that you can make whatever religion you want. Whenever you want.
I know. So,
It's part of my religious practice of Jainism to rape women.
Yeah. So, I said to...
But if you stop time...
So I said to my other Jewish friend, I gave them the eating shrimp, slicing up babies argument, and they said, now you're just insulting my religion. And I said, no, actually I'm insulting 3 of the most common religions in the world. And so,
3 of them.
yeah, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. They all have circumcision.
Oh, I
their
thought you
ritual.
were referring to the shrimp thing, and I was
No.
like, I ate shrimp when I was a Christian.
Semi-related. To this day, I don't know whether or not I'm circumcised. I can't tell.
That's... I don't...
We're gonna take a short break.
No, we're not!
No one is seeing my batoozle.
Well, now we know you're circumcised. That was the most Jewish word I've ever heard.
My bones.
Now it's even worse. So anyway, he was like, it's more sanitary. Yeah, if you're an idiot.
Actually, there have not been conclusive medical results for or against it.
Exactly. Cutting your arms off is more sanitary if you're too stupid to wash your armpits.
That's debatable.
Do you know how many
I'm not going
things
to
you can touch
elaborate,
with
I'm
hands?
just saying.
Do you know how many things you can touch with hands, Nils?
What are you trying to say? What is your point?
You touch so many things
think
with your
he's
hands, it's
agreeing with you.
unsanitary.
I think he's agreeing.
Yes, it's more sanitary to not have hands. Exactly.
Yes.
He's agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but then you said, if you're not stupid enough to wash your armpits.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's still more
Well, not
sanitary
having-
to not have arms.
Exactly. Not having hands is more sanitary if you're too stupid to wash your hands. You can't touch your mouth anymore.
Yes.
Exactly. So if you're too stupid to wash under your dick skin, you shouldn't have it.
Well, technically, babies are too stupid to wash under their dick skin.
Well, yeah, it is. But ruining someone's entire dickhood just because you don't want to wash under it when they're a baby.
I've named my penis the Red Hood.
That's kind of like...
Would that only work if you were a Native American who really
Therefore-
liked racial slurs?
Therefore, the parents, if they're too stupid to wash under it, because the baby can do it.
Really political.
Because the baby
If the parents are too stupid to wash under their baby's dick skin, then the baby doesn't get it.
No, because that's what happens, and I'm saying it ought not to.
Why did I agree to do this show? I just... Every time we end up talking about something that just makes me want to...
Not be associated with this?
Yes. Because, I mean... Well, first of all, none of our friends can watch this. At least none of my friends.
Yeah, none of mine.
All of mine. Except Kylan and stuff.
Kylan and Kyle.
My
Kyle could watch it, but he wouldn't.
My parents know it exists, but they're never knowing what it's called or how to find it ever. I tell, I'm going over to record the podcast. Yeah.
My mom doesn't know that this exists.
I can only...
Mainly because I'm embarrassed.
I can only snap with my left hand, incidentally. Well, I can snap with my right, but it's like...
I can't really snap with my left
It's a paltry snap. It's like... It's that, whereas... You know. Anyway. So, we were talking about languages, we aren't talking about fear. We can save that for a closer to Halloween episode.
I'm afraid of death.
Do you want to talk about it right now?
No.
Death is scary. Death is death. You die. That's a problem. That's
Yes.
fear.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Various problems.
I don't know if I mentioned this. I'm an atheist. So there's no, like, oh, if I die, I go to heaven thing for me.
Which apparently means that no one would try to solve the problem.
What?
Your atheist society.
Oh. We had an argument a conversation, or maybe it was an argument. I don't remember. Anyway.
Don't you love arguments where you argue about if you're arguing or what you're arguing about?
I have those all the time.
Yeah.
Especially with Kyle.
Always
Anyway,
with Kyle.
no, but we had a conversation or an argument or something about if religions had never come to be. And my position was that,
We wouldn't be able to read, and science would be really far behind.
that's not what I said at all. At all. Science is awesome.
The Dark Ages? Anyone?
But people still learn to read because religion.
I don't even remember what my message
Not thanks to the Catholic Church.
It was something along the lines of, like, the search for immortality wouldn't be a very high concern because there wouldn't have been contention about death.
It's not about contention, it's about that it's a problem. Death is the absence of being, and they'd still see it as a problem.
Well, but not as much as, say, this world where...
No, this world... We'd only see it as a problem if we were all atheists.
We're not getting back into this. You shut up.
I'm just saying.
Shut up.
Turn the game down. We'd only see it as a problem if...
We're not getting into this. Either we stop talking about this or I stop.
Religion creates the contention.
That's what I was talking about.
What?
What? This is how all of
Let's move on! For God's sake.
Hey, you're not allowed to say that.
Yes, I am.
I am sort of deist because I believe in a higher power. Just because who flicked the first speck, basically.
Is that a sex thing?
No. It's a universe thing.
I don't pay attention. I guess you could...
Although you could say that the past universe flicked the first speck, but who flicked that universe's speck?
This really sounds like a sex thing. I'm just saying.
Who boned the first
I'm just
vagina?
saying, what I believe for the beginning of time was that there was basically an equal distribution, a infinite space with finite matter, and distributed equally. And you can't divide by infinity exactly, but...
At all.
Yeah, you can still distribute things equally across it. Until some little particle was like, I'm gonna get closer to this particle! And they did. And it started a chain reaction where every single particle got smushed together until the Big Bang happened. And then stuff wasn't equal, and stuff clumped together and became planets and stuff. That's what I believe, even though it's science, so that's what I think I know. Which I don't know it, because I have no evidence to back that up.
My belief about the beginning of time is that I don't adequately understand what time is, so I haven't formed an opinion.
Time is the progression of events through space.
Yes, but time can be affected by gravity.
Yeah.
Which is what confuses me. But we're not getting into that either, because I don't want to talk about science. I want to talk about just stuff that, like, happened.
That's not science at all. Science is definitely not stuff that, like, happened.
But I want to talk about unimportant, just random shit.
Yeah.
Are you saying that how gravity affects time isn't unimportant shit?
Dog feces.
What?
What?
Cow feces.
Nils, just
You've blacked
stop.
out my computer.
I'm talking about random shit.
Oh. Oh.
It wasn't necessarily random, it was made by the algorithm of my thoughts. If I had used atmospheric noise to generate the species, then it would have been an approximation to randomness. But we cannot truly get randomness with a computer or with atmospheric noise.
To talk about shit.
We've killed it.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby.
We killed it and raped its children.
What is this?
In-
Corruption of champions?
Oh
what?
God!
Oh.
Don't associate us.
We do not endorse, condone, or consider that game. That I totally,
Game.
It's a sex toy.
What?
It's a mimetic sex toy.
It's mimetic.
Well, not mimetic, but it's a mental sex toy.
Please note that the only reason I know about it is that they
Hey,
they showed
I
it
didn't
to
make
me.
you play it. Jalen made you play it.
Either
Can't
way,
anyone play it. Taylor could have said no.
Well, we didn't
was
give him
a-
a chance.
it was a fantasy text-based adventure. Why wouldn't I play it? I didn't realize it was a sex thing. Anyway, the only reason I know about it is because they showed it to me before the podcast.
The only way anyone really knows about it is if they get shown it by someone else that somehow knows it. Probably because someone else showed them,
Yeah, but you
But
know,
who showed the first person?
the person who made it.
who watches The Watchmen?
I was just connecting back to my universe thing.
Anyway, so yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to Zork. Just say it.
Zork.
The first text adventure.
A Gru. That was it.
Yeah, you've been eaten by a Gru.
Yes,
That's a
we
Zork
didn't.
thing.
We didn't remember that the first time. We were like, "What's the creature? It starts with a G," and then
I
we
don't
couldn't
remember
remember.
trying to think of that.
It was when we made T-shirts.
When did we make T-shirts?
You don't remember that?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the first episode of the pod. Oh, okay.
What?
Okay. I thought you were talking about we were trying to remember the name of Grooves while we were doing the first
No!
episode of the podcast.
It was during when we made T-shirts.
We made T-shirts at one point.
We made like 15 in
we
2
didn't-
hours.
We didn't make t-shirts, we put things on t-shirts that were already made.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
like spin looms. How do T-shirts be made?
With looms. That spin.
I'm sure.
With electric looms.
That
Yeah,
probably
we're not
spin.
saying that Indonesian children are involved. Maybe they press the on.
No, I'm not saying that Indonesian children are involved, but Indonesian children are involved.
Maybe they push the on button, but who knows?
Did you know that China and the United States will probably never go to war because we're too economically dependent on each other?
Did you know that, yes, everyone knows that?
Are you saying that there aren't stupid people around that don't know anything?
I'm saying that even the stupid people that don't know anything know that the US and China are unlikely to go to war due to their economic dependence on
Well,
each
that
other.
would just make war even more impactful on each other.
That's the problem.
Why
Yeah,
would they
wouldn't-
want to impact themselves negatively?
I mean, why would we go to war with China? We need them to make our iPads. Why would China go to war with us? They need someone to buy their iPads.
Well, if there were outstanding reasons, I mean.
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
saying
but
we'd just go to war for the hell of
they
it.
would need to be really outstanding reasons because it would hurt.
Let's put it this way.
Both
North
of
Korea,
us.
or
North
China
Korea
defends North Korea,
Yeah.
and we haven't fucked up anything with North Korea, besides just being like, so you just need to stop that. We haven't just gone in and fucked up their shit for a reason.
Now we're talking about politics. Why is it that anytime...
Strategical freedom.
Why is it that, like, anytime there's a conversation between anyone in any time ever that where I'm there, it always starts off with something I'm like, yeah! And then it goes into something I really just don't want to talk about. And then it moves to something else I really don't want to talk about. And then something else I really don't want to talk about. Like politics.
Like a leapfrog of suck.
Yes.
Where the first frog is like, yeah, and then you realize you become part of a human centipede.
That's something else I don't want to say.
They're sewn together from ass to mouth! I didn't realize the One Direction movie was out already.
I don't either. How much time is left
You
on this thing?
complain about the topics, but you don't choose any topics.
That's because it's your job, audience!
You're letting us
Wherever you are!
Taylor's suffering is your fault.
It is. I feel this may be a running theme.
So,
How long-
next time on the podcast, make Taylor suffer more.